The Briarwood Estates Charity Gala was the biggest event of the year, where everyone dressed in diamonds, silk, and the sharp scent of money. Eleanor Vance, wife of real estate millionaire Richard Vance, arrived late, sweeping through the marble lobby like she owned the building. In many ways she did. While guests mingled, janitorial staff cleaned quietly along the edges, almost invisible. That night, among them was Maya Carter, a 14-year-old black girl with bright eyes and a shy posture, helping her mother who worked the cleaning shift. Maya was wiping fingerprints off a glass railing when Eleanor noticed her. Eleanor's voice sliced through the air. "Hey, be careful," she snapped. "These railings cost more than your entire well." She eyed Maya's faded sneakers. "You get the point?" Guests turned to look. Maya froze. Her mother, Angela Carter, hurried over, face red from embarrassment. "I'm sorry, ma'am," Angela said softly. "My daughter just wants to help." Eleanor waved her hand dismissively. "No one needs help from children who don't even belong here." The room went silent. Maya lowered her gaze, pretending not to hear, but the words stabbed deep. And in the corner, watching the whole thing, stood Richard Vance. His jaw tightened, his eyes narrowed. This wasn't the first time he'd seen Eleanor's cruelty, but it would be the last. The next morning, Eleanor stormed into Richard's home office. "You didn't defend me last night," she snapped. "That girl shouldn't have been anywhere near paying guests." Richard closed his laptop slowly. "And you think mocking a child is appropriate? She was a cleaner's kid? These people need to know their place." Richard stared at her as if seeing her for the first time. "Funny," he said quietly. "I thought you believed in charity." "I do," Eleanor scoffed. "But that's different from them." Richard leaned back in his chair. "Eleanor, we're hosting a board meeting tonight. I need you to be here." "Time." Her brows knit. "Why? What's that tone?" "You'll see." That evening, Eleanor walked into the Vance Mansion's conference room, expecting wealthy donors in suits. Instead, she found the Briarwood Estates HOA members, the charity board directors, and at the head of the table, Angela and Maya Carter. Eleanor's eyes widened. "What is this?" she demanded. Richard stood. "This," he said calmly, "is the truth." He pulled up a slide on the projector. New nonprofit initiative. Future First Scholars. At the center of the plan was Maya. Eleanor blinked. "Why is she on that screen?" Richard clasped his hands. "Because Maya Carter scored in the top 1% nationwide in STEM aptitude tests. She has been accepted into the highly competitive Horizon Scholars program, but the family declined because they couldn't afford transportation or materials." Eleanor scoffed. "And what does that have to do with us?" "Oh, everything." Richard clicked to the next slide. "I am fully funding Maya's scholarship. Tuition, transportation, tech equipment, everything," he paused. "She deserves a future just as bright as anyone else's." The room erupted in quiet applause. Angela's eyes filled with tears. Maya stared at the floor, overwhelmed. But Eleanor, her face flushed crimson. "You're funding them, without discussing it with me?" Richard met her glare. "I don't need to discuss what I've been planning for a year. A year." "Why?" Richard inhaled deeply. "Because the Carters used to clean the building where my father worked. When I was 10, Angela was the one who helped me with homework while she scrubbed floors. She fed me when my dad worked late. She treated me like family when we had nothing." The room went still. She didn't know I remembered, but I did. "And when I saw her daughter humiliated in public by my wife." His gaze hardened. "That was the last line." Eleanor's voice cracked. "So what, you're replacing me with them?" Richard shook his head. "No, I'm showing you who you've become." He turned to Maya. "You carry kindness with you, intelligence, humility. I want you to grow without fear of people trying to diminish your worth." Then he looked back at Eleanor. "And you'd need to step down from the charity board immediately." "What?" He acted against everything the foundation stands for. "The board has already voted. You're removed," Eleanor gasped as several members nodded solemnly. I didn't mean..." "Yes, she did." Everyone knew it. And Richard wasn't done. "To the board," he announced. "Starting tonight, Angela will join our foundation's staff as community liaison. She understands struggle better than anyone in this room." Angela's hand shook. "Mr. Vance, I don't know what to say. You don't have to," he smiled gently. "Just keep doing what you've always done, lifting others." Eleanor stormed out, humiliated, but the world had finally seen her true colors. Meanwhile, Maya began attending Horizon Scholars, quickly ranking at the top of her cohort. Angela moved into her new role, where her empathy transformed dozens of struggling families' lives. Richard reshaped the charity into something human, real, and focused on opportunity. But the biggest transformation came months later. At the charity's annual awards night, Maya walked on stage to accept the Young Innovator Award. Her speech trembled but shined. Sometimes the world tries to tell you who you're allowed to be. But one kind person, one second chance, can rebuild your whole future. The crowd rose in applause. From the back of the room, Richard watched with quiet pride. Not because he saved them, but because they saved him. They reminded him what power is supposed to do: lift, not crush.